Good night, everybody. Soon I will, as I promised, I will record a video on the subject of friendship. Of course, very sad video it's going to be. I spoke like Yoda, right? Anyway, and also I'm going to conduct a experience. I lied to you. I told you that I'm not going to do any research because I need to focus on the site. But no, I actually have done a little bit of research during the last couple of days and also today, because I like to create stuff and to do development and research, and that's what I like. So that's what I do. But I think that I've done a little bit of progress. With the site, even though it's a very basic one and like the most basic template, but for now it's okay. In any case, as I said, the Israelis will be the one that decide who can, who cannot see the site. Even without the theory of the internet on a box, like life on a box, internet on a box. Even just for regular users, it's very easy for the government and for the Shabak to control such things. So but before the research of the last couple of days and today will be perhaps culminated tonight in like a new kind of research, which maybe I will record. Let's see. But if things like really mature, as I optimistically hope. But before this and before the friendship video, there is something very important that I need to say. And I try not to respond to every piece of bullshit that is flying, whatever on my face. But sometimes you really piss me off. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter who is like the source of this shit. Probably not Israelis, but doesn't really matter. So now you say, wow, oh man, only the Israelis, fuck the Titans. And as you yourself said, like many times during the last 2 years, even though it was only speculation and didn't have like hard proof about it, but I speculated many times that the Neros, my nanobots can serve as a cure for the condition that I still don't know what exactly is this condition, but I guess it's some kind of a disease, maybe like. The simplest guess will be kind of like an interplanetary infection, a virus, like in cross-planetary infection, but maybe it's another thing. I don't know what's the issue. As I said many times, I don't have a problem having sex with Titan females and Homo sapiens females, and I've done it in the past. And actually sometimes even enjoyed it a lot. Even though at that point I would rather, I pray to God that, as the first person, as Adam told like, God, according to the Midrash, famous Midrash, that, all the animals, like, have partners, like, the monkey has the female monkey, the beetle has the female beetle, and, only I am alone. So then he gave him Eve. So the same way I pray to God. I know it. I belong to species, of course. Also, they are not like the Neros. They don't like have three genders, and they I don't know what their stand on the the subject of threesomes, but Menage a Trois. But they have males and females. So please God, supply me with a female that is also a cherub like myself. Because one thing is certain, I reached a point that, I despise both Homo sapiens and Titans. Not physically, of course, but because they all look, it's not the look, but it's the behavior. So I need a miracle, or alternatively, like a private spaceship to Mars, because there are some, I've spoken about it briefly in the past, that several are still hibernating in the vault of the colony. So that might be a good place to start searching for a good woman, a good wife, perhaps. But let's get back to what's so annoying. I mean, until now, for years you've said no one is doing them. They are all nuns all over the world. And today they found out that actually the Israelis are fucking them. And they also used me, I mean, they used the nanobot as a cure, which is not that in itself. I mean, the whole thing is unbelievably disgusting and abusive towards me, first of all. But and also toward my daughters, because I mean, you should always remember that, I mean, the detachment of me and my daughters was integral part of the plan and of the Israelis. It's not like an arbitrary issue. And you can argue that it's also stupid and completely immoral. But I mean, mechanically it makes sense, because we know that, I mean, this stuff can cure. I mean, they fight diseases, so it's not, I mean, it's like that. It doesn't take a very big leap to understand that one of the many things that they do, I mean, besides like gardening and like, I mean, creating bombs and like doing a million other stuff, they can also cure this disease or another disease or other diseases. But you know what really bothers me? What's annoying me to my blood right now? Because I mean, if anyone listened to me to what I mean, during like the last year or two, I mean, maybe even the last couple of months, I mean, I've said many times that I suspect, I don't have like, I mean, tangible proof, but I suspect very strongly that this stuff that was taken from me, like a farm animal, was actually sold for people abroad for good money, because we know that what drives the people in Israel is above all money. And I told you, I mean, that this is an international scandal, because, I mean, I am enslaved not only by the Israelis, but indirectly by the rich people or famous people that actually buy this stuff. And you know that there is a huge incentive for them to buy this stuff, even if they know nothing about and I guess that most people don't know anything about the Neros. I guess my study was actually, most of it was groundbreaking, not because it was so complicated or it required, I mean, special means. You know that I didn't have neither background nor means, but I mean, I think other people just didn't bother to do it. That's my guess. I mean, peculiar, but it's not the most peculiar aspect of this Star Wars saga. But yeah, I mean, I told you, I suspect people are buying it, and because, I mean, and they sell it, and they have, I strongly suspect it. And I have a little bit of proof, but I mean, I have some proof, and I've discussed it very briefly in the past, but it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, can you just, I mean, now that you've discovered that actually, yes, it was true that the Israelis used it all the time, I mean, maybe you should be more prudent before you jump and say, no, they're the only ones that used it. No, nobody else did. I mean, fuck the Titans. Because really, I mean, maybe a little bit of like modesty right now and prudence. And I mean, are you really that sure that, I mean, people in your governments, in your politics, in the high level of the private sectors didn't buy it from Israelis? And I can tell you that I'm almost 100% certain that they did, and they paid good money for it. And what you should do right now is not like jump like a cock, like the rooster, and with the new theory after the previous one was, I mean, blown in your face. But now you should, I mean, put all your effort, first of all, to rescue me and my daughters from the Nazi state, and also to check your own, to check your house. To do a thorough check of your own house, and it's going to be difficult because naturally these are going to be the strongest people of the population, politicians and billionaires, and to see whether they bought it from the Israelis or not. I mean, all along the years, and how much money they paid, and how much suffering this has cost, and what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now besides moving your tongues and lips and presenting new theories just out of like a slide of your hand, instead of just, I mean, shut the fuck up and I mean, try to like get to the bottom of the truth, and of course, most importantly, act with accordance to what you've already, I mean, to your sins. Yes, to your sins. It's not a shame to use the term. Yes, act in accordance to your sins.